Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. School trustee Barry Neufeld is heading for the Supreme Court of Canada. For the first time in a decade, regular passenger flights out of Chilliwack Airport. The freshet waters are dropping, but not the mosquitoes. And it may be July, but Chiefs hockey is tops in sports. Josh will have more on that coming up later in the show. Our special guest this week is Merlin Bunt from Chilliwack History Perspectives. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. It's been a long legal process which appears to be coming to a head in the Supreme Court of Canada on October the 11th. Just 4 days before the municipal elections, which are October 15th, Chilliwack School Trustee Barry Neufeld will have his day in the Supreme Court of Canada in his years-long defamation legal action against former BCTF President Glenn Hansman. Neufeld has stated publicly that he will be in Ottawa to defend himself along with his lawyer. This started with Neufeld's public comments about SOGI 123, that program that the Chilliwack School Board endorses. The controversy started back in 2017. Now, note, on October 15th, the municipal elections will take place throughout BC. Mr. Neufeld will run for re-election to the school board. Now, according to the Supreme Court of Canada website, this hearing is supposed to be live streamed. And again, Supreme Court of Canada, if you want to check it out. Many in Chilliwack have been following the Excelsior 4 hog farm trial in Abbotsford. It went from 4 people to 3 people to 2. On July 9th, Nick Schaefer and Amy Serrano were convicted of break-and-enter and mischief and the illegal placing of video cameras and the subsequent occupation of the farm. The 2 other protesters that were originally charged, they had their charges dropped after lawyers argued abuse of process by the BC Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. The actual incident, 4 activists accused of exposing animal cruelty on the Abbotsford hog farm, that happened back in April of 2019. Cascadia Air officially celebrating new daily flights from Chilliwack, and they did that with a ribbon-cutting ceremony on July the 6th at Chilliwack Airport. This is the first time there are regularly scheduled air services from Chilliwack in more than a decade. Cascadia flights will be going to 6 BC destinations. Daily flights to Abbotsford, Pitt Meadows, Vancouver, Campbell River, Tofino, and Penticton were set up in the past year. And at the end of the month, they will be launching a route into Vernon. While the mosquitoes are still enjoying breeding in standing water and causing misery, Island 22 and most FVRD evacuation orders have now been rescinded as the freshet waters are subsiding. Now, yeah, this has been the worst mosquito season since 2012. Spraying for larvae happened earlier in the spring, but with the floodwaters coming in late, well, that is what caused the outburst of so many of the little guys. Hopefully, that'll start to die down by the end of the month. A few weeks ago, chillTV told you about what many thought was a heritage house on Victoria between Nowell and Yonge and next to the Alano Club. That lovely house is going to be demolished, and it was never given any heritage designation, and the owners never sought approval. Merlin Bunt is a local historian and operates the Facebook page Chilliwack History Perspectives. chillTV spoke with him on what hoops are to be done to get any type of heritage designation, and there are other properties that could fall into this. We will have that conversation later on in the show. In the world of apps on your phone, this one does stand out. The Cultist Lake App was launched in June, creating a new platform for improved communication between staff and members of the community. The app is currently downloaded on 604 devices. It has been opened some 4,000 times. And since the introduction of the app, staff have received and actioned on over 60 reports generated by their users throughout residential, public areas, as well as Sunnyside Campground. The report and issue function of the app should only be used for non-urgent bylaw infractions that don't require immediate attention, or, dare we say it, 911. Kim Mallory has been a figure on the local real estate scene for years. Her real estate business came to a sudden stop just as the pandemic set in. That's when she became ill, and she needed a bone marrow transplant. She documented in detail what she went through and was able to beat the cancer. Mallory's second book is now out and available on Amazon and through local book retailers. Journal to Your Awakening Bliss is a pretty easy read, but be forewarned, if you have ever dealt with cancer in your family or you yourself have had to go through chemo, this could bring back some memories. The 2022 Fraser Valley Music Awards 36 nominees are now presented online on, as they say, Canada's #1 campus radio station, which is UFV's Civil FM. That's right, UFV. In addition to the 11 category awards and fan vote prize money, one talented artist will be invited to play next year at the 2023 Mission Folk Festival at the Fraser River Heritage Park in Mission. This year's awards will be presented as part of the Jam and Jubilee concert series in the park in Abbotsford, July 21st. Currently, Civil FM has the Abbotsford station. They have a Chilliwack repeater that is expected to go online within the next year. After the break, our conversation with Merlin Bunt and Chilliwack History Perspectives, and then Josh with sports. chillTV's News of the Week, and we are in conversation with Merlin Bunt, who has a phenomenal Chilliwack History Facebook page called Chilliwack History Perspectives, and something that we've been talking about off air. And it is literally around the corner from where Fraser Valley News is. It is a beautiful house. It is on Victoria between Yonge and Nowell. It's next to the Alano Club, and it's in the process of being demoed and torn apart. And it has a really cool history. Does it have a name, an actual name?
It's called the Asheville House.
Okay.
It was built by John Henry Asheville back in 1891, 130 years ago. He was a two-term Chilliwack mayor, and his dad was a major retailer. And he was a prominent Chilliwack citizen back in the day. He passed away in 1939. His wife died in 1942, age 60. And at that point, the house was sold at auction. It became a rooming house for gentlemen. It became a Bible Institute. It became a rest home. It became a mental recovery clinic. It became a Chilliwack Correction Center. By 1980, it was 90 years old. It was run down, and it couldn't be saved, and it just deteriorated. Now its fate is sealed.
Yeah, and in its last carnation next to the Alano Club, not affiliated with the Alano Club, but it was a recovery house for men with addictions and such. The thing is, after your piece on Chilliwack History Perspectives, after what Fraser Valley News and chillTV did, a lot of people getting on social media, well, how come it can't be saved under heritage rules? It's not as simple as that. I would assume there's a ton of hoops that you got to jump through.
Well, in my view, you're right. In my view, any heritage issue or controversy or community angst over heritage involves money. Money. If you're a property owner, it's not often you will trade future profit or capital appreciation to have your property sort of frozen as far as purpose, and you got to spend money to get up to standard. Now, some folks do have heritage interest and they have money to do that, but it takes money to forego the profit and invest in your property. Now, in Chilliwack, there are 16 properties which are protected. They've obtained, it's called the Municipal Heritage Designation.
A title that's about that long, yeah.
Yeah, and out of the 16 properties, only 14 are buildings. One's a land, one is a piece of highway. So out of all Chilliwack, only 14 buildings are protected because, again, money. Yeah, in my view.
And something that's not that far away, and I'm assuming this falls under the same situation that they're looking at is future profits, and that's a building that I didn't realize was a house, but it has been a restaurant in so many different incantations. Right now, it's an Indo-Canadian restaurant. Has that owner not pursued anything?
No, because he probably foresees rezoning or expansion, more profit. So he won't do that because he wants to cash in, and that's where the majority is.
When it comes to the city of Chilliwack, I'm under the impression, correct me on this, there is a Heritage Commission?
Yes, there is. Yeah. And on that point, the city just recently rolled out or accepted a new Heritage Strategic Action Plan. Right. And it's positive. Now, the city has to balance a fine line. They have to balance heritage interest with tax-paying voters.
Right.
And it's, they want to be, balance that. So to their credit, they got this plan in place. And the first part of the plan is to do a new inventory of heritage structures. It was last done in 1991. It was done, I thought, poorly, not comprehensive, factual errors.
91, so now it's 30 years old.
Yeah. Back then, it had 129 structures, a quarter already gone.
Yeah.
So it's long past due. That's part one. Part two is to devise some financial incentive plan to make it desirable for an owner to say, I'll forego whatever down the road, I'll put money into it, make it a long-term Chilliwack heritage structure. Takes money again.
Yeah. Who's from council on that board? Was that Sue Knott?
Sue Knott was on that. And there was Laura Reed from the Chilliwack Heritage Society.
Okay, so now, as many know, Sue Knott is not running for re-election in the fall. Anyone that looks like they're going to take the place, or is that going to be after the October 15th election?
I'm guessing after. I've not heard any names.
Okay.
But the commission's in place, and a new plan's been accepted, so those are positive steps.
Good stuff. And if people want more information, I guess reach out to you via the Chilliwack History Perspective.
Yeah, I take all calls and all letters.
Great stuff. Merlin, again, a big thank you.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Thanks very much.
And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week.
Well, folks, it's mid-July. It finally feels like mid-July, but that will not stop me from starting today's show with some hockey. The Canucks paid homage today to the legacy of Jim Benning by overspending on the first day of free agency once again. Sorry, local hockey you want me to talk about? Okay, all right. You know what? Let's talk about the Chilliwack Chiefs today, all right? Let's start with them. The BC Hockey League and the Chilliwack Chiefs have announced their exhibition schedule for the 2022-2023 season. The Chiefs will make their return to the Hope Arena and Rec Center for a match against Merritt Centennials on Wednesday, September 6th, that's Wednesday, September 7th at 6 p.m. And then they'll be back at the Coliseum for back-to-back games against the West Kelowna Warriors and Powell River Kings, September 9th and 10th. They'll hit the road again, going back to Merritt on the 16th, before continuing to Penticton, where they'll play the Vs as part of the Vancouver Canucks annual Young Stars Classic, which is returning after a few seasons of a hiatus. So good to have that event back. As a reminder, tickets to both of the home exhibition games are going to be included with Chiefs Seasons tickets, so reach out to them if you are interested. Individual tickets for the Chiefs home games are going to be on sale September the 1st. We're going to stick with the Chiefs, because we need to give some major congratulations to Chilliwack Chiefs defenseman Abram Wiebe, who is selected by the Vegas Golden Knights 209th overall in this year's NHL entry draft in Montreal. That's kind of amazing. The scouting report on Wiebe is that he's a mobile, smooth-skating NHL defender with NHL-ready size. He's 6'3", 195 pounds, and surely will add more weight as he grows. He finished last season with 2 goals and 31 points and has committed to NCAA hockey powerhouse University of North Dakota for the upcoming season. He's the only member of the Chiefs to be drafted this year, but certainly an enormous achievement for him. Man, that's young to be going to. Man, that's unbelievable. Good for him. One more bit of Chiefs news. The team will be holding their 11th annual golf tournament on September 20th at Chilliwack Golf Club. Register your foursome or as an individual if you want, but make sure you do it ASAP to make sure you get the best price. Contact Barry or Ashley at the Chiefs office. They'll get all the information for you. Speaking of hockey team golf tournaments, the Chilliwack Jets are partnering with the Cultist Lake Golf Club for their 2nd annual Jets Golf Tournament. This year's tournament, in support of the Jets hockey program, will be held at Cultist Golf Club on the 21st of August. The event's going to feature contests, mini competitions, and games on almost every hole throughout the round, a post-round dinner, auction, food on the different holes, and that's all for just $130 a person. Sounds like a good deal and a fun time. Contact the Jets for all the information. The Chilliwack Minor Lacrosse Association is incredibly proud of their players and coaches on the Pee Wee C team. The 11 and 12-year-olds came a long ways over the course of the season and brought home provincial silver. Huge achievement for them. All the stats can be found at the Facebook page, and congrats to them once again. Finally, the Valley Huskers BC Football Conference, BCFC season starts in just over 2 weeks. The Huskers start the season against the expansion team, the Prince George Kodiaks, at Exhibition Stadium at 7 p.m. Saturday the 23rd. As a reminder, the team is actually still looking for billets for some of their players, so if you're interested, please reach out to the team. All right, that's all we've got for sports today. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in as always. We will see you next week.
chillTV weather, mainly sunny for the entire weekend. The only blip on the screen seems to be Saturday, where there is a remote chance for showers. Highs in the mid-20s. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.